Hello, people. It's Mandy, and I have a video for you guys today that's a little more serious. But I figured I would make it just to make you guys aware, and share my story, spread awareness, things of that nature. I don't know if I have. Yeah, I don't have it around me. I was gonna show you guys something, but I guess I don't have it nearby. So, anyways, I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I was almost mugged, and I know you guys are probably like, how can you almost be mugged? It was a very close call, and it was very, very scary. So, I guess I'll just tell you guys sort of my story. And it happened actually only a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty fresh in my head how everything happened. But I just figured I would share it with you guys again to spread awareness and things of that nature. So basically, I was in the city in my state, and it's a pretty decent sized city. It's not the biggest in the country, but it's definitely not the smallest, I don't think, either. It's a decent sized city, and you can definitely get lost in it if you don't know where you're going and things like that. But I knew very well where I was headed and where I was going, so yeah. But it was on a Tuesday night, and I was in the city in my state for my summer class, which I mentioned, I think, in another video. On my Be Positive advice video, I mentioned that I have a summer class that I was taking in the city, so I was there for one of my second to last class in the city, and I was just talking to friends during class, and we were like, hey, we should all go grab drinks and get dinner after class. Like, that would be really, really fun. We can, like, get to know each other more, whatever, just hang out outside of class, because I thought everyone in my class was super nice and chill, and I wanted to get to know them on a personal level more and just sort of spend more time with them outside of class, and also get to explore a little bit more of the city since I'm not from the city. So yeah. Anyways, so we decided to go to this Mexican restaurant that was, I would say, at least between 5 to 10 blocks. I would say maybe 5 blocks, maybe a little more than 5. I wouldn't go so far as to say 10, but it was definitely far away from where our class was, and the campus and everything. So yeah, we had to walk there. It was about like a 15-minute walk, I would say. So we were walking and talking for a while, and it was just really fun, and we got to have drinks, we got to have dinner. It was really nice. I shared a lot of personal information with these people that I don't normally just like blurt out, but I am pretty much an open book for most things, so I was just like sort of talking about life, and we talked about my paranormal experiences because they were asking about them, and I was like, yeah, I'll just tell you guys some stuff. They were like, what's the scariest thing that's happened to you? I'm like, there's been a lot of scary things. I don't know if there's a scariest thing, but yeah, so I was just talking to them about that and other things. So we were on the way back to campus and everything, and I was walking with one of the girls, or two of the girls in my class, and we were taking a subway, and I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So at one point, I was on the subway with only one other girl from my class. The other girl from my class got off the subway before us, so like before our stop. So I really had to go to the bathroom, and this girl from my class was so nice. She just went and showed me the bathroom, and we got off at a random stop on the subway because I had to go so bad I couldn't wait till my stop. So we went to the bathroom, and it was at Burger King, which was cool. I mean, it was pretty dope. We had to ask for like a key to get into the bathroom, which I guess is pretty common for like city restaurants and things like that, maybe, of that nature. And then we went back, or I actually went back by myself on the subway because she had to get onto a different subway to go somewhere else. So she stayed in that subway station, and I got back on the subway to go to the train station where I'm supposed to take the train home. So I took the subway by myself, which is fine. I have taken the subway by myself a lot of times, and, a lot of times now for this class. And, it wasn't like super late at night at all. It was about like 8 o'clock-ish at night. And, I wasn't really thinking too much of it. I thought it was just a normal, everyday routine. I've never personally gotten back to the train station this late before, during my classes and everything, but I didn't really think much of it because it was early evening. It was just starting to really get dark out. There's still blue in the sky. It wasn't completely pitch black yet. So, the sun was down. It was pretty dark, but it wasn't like, oh my God, like middle of the night dark. So I got off the subway station and I was just walking across the street to the train station, which is directly across the street. You just have to go in a crosswalk. So I really wasn't thinking anything too much of it, and I was walking towards the train station, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this guy, like, come off of, like, there's, like, this, I don't know how to describe it to you, really, because it's really hard to describe. It's sort of like a lawn type of strip on the side of where the sidewalk is. So it's on the right side of where the sidewalk was that I was walking on to get to the train station. And this guy out of nowhere just, like, starts walking right at me. Like, he starts walking towards my direction. I slowly, like, my eyes are, like, peering over, and I made eye contact for, like, a split second with him, and he looked like he was angry or like he was threatening. Like, he gave me almost a threatening stare. And I looked away really quick, like, real quick, once I realized, like, why he was coming over, and it was directly at me because there was nobody else around except me and a girl that was walking directly in front of me, or not directly, it was like a little to the left side, but in front of me, and she was wearing workout clothes and carrying just some random gym bag or something, and I knew that I was being targeted for something, and I freaked, of course, but I didn't show that I tried not to show that I was freaked out. It was very hard, of course, because I never experienced this before, but I just kept walking really, really, really quickly. I made my pace even faster, and I got so fast to the point where I was practically almost jogging to the train station, because I was trying to get away from this guy, and every time I saw my peripheral, he was directly behind me, following me. Like, this guy was legit following me, and I know when someone's following me. Like, you know what I mean? You know when someone's following you, and they're, like, trying to come at you. Like, I felt like he was literally trying to come at me and steal my shit. And all I had, honestly, that was on me was my purse. And it's a decent-sized purse. It's my Michael Kors purse, which is this thing back here. So it's a pretty decent-sized purse. I wasn't wearing any clothes that said, oh my God, like, look at that girl, I was just wearing jeans and some sort of shirt, and I was just walking, very quickly away, and I was petrified because I kept turning around and seeing him, like, following me, and I don't think it was a homeless person because I've seen a lot of homeless people in the streets of the city and everything, and they are harmless, honestly. As far as I know, as far as I've experienced personally, I have never had a homeless person try to come at me or come after me to get my stuff. Like, I've never had that happen before. So I think this person was just a person that might not have a ton of money, but, like, wanted to steal my stuff, I guess. I don't know what he wanted, honestly, because I didn't talk to the guy, obviously. But I was walking so fast to the point where I said I started, like, almost jogging to the train station, and I was in front of the girl that was in front of me. That's how fast I was moving, because I wanted to get the hell away from this guy, because I didn't know what he wanted with me. I was scared. I felt like threatened. I felt like my life was honestly threatened, and even though he didn't like directly lunge at me or come directly at me or try to grab my stuff, even though he didn't do any of that, just the fact that he was following me so closely behind and I saw him and we made that eye contact, I was terrified. And I honestly felt like my life was in danger and I could have been threatened, or, I could have been kidnapped, mugged, killed, who knows. And I don't take this lightly, obviously, because holy cow, But I luckily made it into the station just in time, and it was public enough of a station, and, there were cops inside the station, but I didn't get why there were no cops outside of the station, to monitor that area, because at nighttime, I'm sure there are a lot of people like that would just, try to, come at some girl who has a purse, or, some guy that has a nice watch. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my story of basically how I almost got mugged. And, the whole train ride home, I was sitting there crying. And, I was paranoid. I was panicked. I was texting my little, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And she was, trying to calm me down. And she was like, you did the best that you could have done. And, I had pepper spray on me, but it was in the bottom of my purse. So even if which was dumb of me, because even if I needed to use it when I needed to use it potentially in this moment, I wouldn't have had probably time to get access to that and actually use it to defend myself. So I sort of did the best that I could, and I was crying. I was very, very distraught after this all happened. I honestly felt like my life was almost taken away from me. And it was very scary. And I know some of you guys might think I'm being overly sensitive or whatever, but honestly, this is just how I feel. And I have never felt so scared for my life before. I have felt scared for my life a couple times, but I have to tell you, this is probably one of the worst times, I would say, because somebody out there was trying to cause harm to me, was trying to, take things from me and I would be nothing without, those things. I wouldn't have any money, I wouldn't have anywhere to go, I'd be stranded in a city somewhere, and just the fact that there are people like that out there that are desperate enough because they don't have the means to support themselves to actually go after people that work hard for a living and make money and have these things. I guess it's desperate times call for desperate measures. But it's just really fucked up to me. And, I still don't get why there were no cops out there. Maybe they're off the clock, but I know cops are usually by that crosswalk during the day. But I would say they're more needed at night so that things like this don't happen to other women or men out there. So basically, I just want you guys to be aware as much as possible. And I know nobody expects this to happen to you, and I definitely did not expect this to happen to me. I never thought in a million years someone would ever try to make me feel like I'm threatened of my own life. And my best advice is do what I did, walk away fast, quickly, and from now on, I'm going to carry my pepper spray at the top of my purse or even in my hand, because at night, just if I'm in a city again at night, I'm just going to have my pepper spray closer to me so I can defend myself and protect myself, because I honestly never felt so hopeless than in that moment, and so helpless in the sense that I do not know how to properly defend myself. I took one self-defense class, and I know one self-defense move, and that's it. and I feel like that's not enough. So now I am curious to take self-defense classes and learn how to defend myself, and I encourage this for any woman, man, anyone out there. You really should protect yourselves, because you never know when someone can come along and try to take stuff or take you. You know what I mean? Like, take your belongings or take you as a person, and you never know when that can happen. So honestly, it opened my eyes a lot, and it made me realize, if I were to ever be in that situation again, which I pray to God I will never be in that situation again, but if it were to ever happen to me again, if I took a self-defense class, or if I had that pepper spray on the top of my purse, I would have been able to defend myself, and I would have been able to potentially avoid the situation. I mean, it's sort of hard to avoid, but I would have been more prepared. And I think this is just, something that's hard to prepare yourself for, but, you try to do the best that you can. So I hope this was maybe helpful for you guys, or a life lesson of some sort. I just sort of wanted to let it out and tell someone about it. I haven't told a lot of people, but I've told a decent amount of people, people that are close to me in my life. So I figured I would just tell you guys, so you're more aware of your surroundings. And if you're in a city at night, you really should carry pepper spray or some sort of way to protect yourself. I wouldn't say just a knife or a gun. I know some people like to do that. I personally would not, but that's just me. I don't have a license for any of that, but I also just don't feel comfortable carrying that sort of stuff on me. I know a lot of guys do that. They carry knives on them and things like that, which is fine. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you otherwise, but I just personally prefer pepper spray, or, have self-defense, take self-defense classes. And that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking into for the future, because I want to know how to protect myself, and I never want to feel that hopeless or helpless feeling again, because I think that was the most terrifying part of it. So yeah, anyway, if you guys enjoyed this story time, or you feel inspired by it, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me and my awesome videos, I promise they're not all super serious like this, then feel free to subscribe. Alright, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.